Good evening, you're watching 7 at 7. I'm Preeti Choudhry. All right, the latest news break coming in. Bangladesh's interim government's oath-taking will take place tomorrow. Bangladesh's interim government will take oath tomorrow at 8 p.m. Mohammad Yunus to reach Dhaka tomorrow in the afternoon. That's coming in right now. 8 p.m. is when the interim government, facilitated by the Bangladesh army, will be taking oath. We're also getting in that Mohammad Yunus will reach Dhaka tomorrow in the afternoon. Various groups that were attached to the protests that had taken place in Bangladesh had mooted the name of Mohammad Yunus to lead the interim government that will now be formed in Bangladesh, and the oath-taking will happen as soon as 8 p.m. tomorrow. A semblance of stability coming in for Bangladesh, while Sheikh Hasina, viewers, continues to be in India, very close to the national capital in a safe house at the Hindon Air Base. Still a question mark whether she will be leaving the country and when will she be leaving the country. On which country has given her asylum. The United Kingdom has refused to do so. But in midst of all of this, there is word coming in that Bangladesh's interim government, what we had seen, the army chief of Bangladesh, shortly after Sheikh Hasina had fled the country, had addressed a press conference where he said that the army is now going to facilitate an interim government, and various groups that were attached to the protests that led to the developments in Bangladesh mooted the name of Mohammad Yunus to lead this interim government. I want to cut across to my colleague Surya Agniroy, who's joining us live with the latest. Surya, what more can you add?
Well, Preeti, tomorrow Professor Mohammad Yunus, he will be arriving at Dhaka at around 2 p.m. Dhaka, Bangladesh time. That's what we have been informed by the press conference of the army chief. Following which, at around 8 p.m., the government, the interim government, will take its oath. So it's a big day for the Bangladesh tomorrow. And the biggest thing that has to be seen is the challenges that Bangladesh, this government will face, that is to bring back normalcy into the country. So that's going to be a big challenge for Professor Mohammad Yunus. And one more important thing is that what we are understanding is that this government will have almost around 10 to 15 people. Can be 2 or 3 people more can be in that list as well. And what we are understanding is that students will also be a member of this government. So that will become a very, very big development, because let's not forget that a month back it all started with the student protests over quota, finally which led to Sheikh Hasina, stepping down and leaving the country. Back to you. All
right, appreciate you joining us, Surya Agni. We're going to come back with more updates there. Tomorrow, 8 p.m. is oath-taking of the interim government in Bangladesh. All of this in the backdrop of Sheikh Hasina right now very close to the national capital on Indian soil. We're going to keep a keen eye on all developments. Meanwhile, getting you latest on what's happening right here in India. 3 days since abject chaos erupted in Bangladesh, and now hopefully there will be a form or a semblance of stability with the interim government swearing in tomorrow. Now, Sheikh Hasina, who resigned as Prime Minister, chased out of Bangladesh. An uneasy calm prevails over the country. Violence, loot, arson continue, with a hotel lodging Awami Netas set ablaze, killing at least 29 of them. Meanwhile, Hasina's arch-rival, Khalida Zia, has finally walked free, while there is still no clarity yet on where Hasina will head to from India, or if she will extend her stay. Here's more.
Bangladesh continues to simmer. With Sheikh Hasina's unceremonious exit under military pressure, Bangladesh has descended into chaos. At least 24 people, including an Indonesian national, were burnt alive after a mob set fire to a 5-star hotel named Zabir International. The hotel was owned by Awami League Party General Secretary Shahin Chakladar. Eminent Hindu Bangladeshi singer Rahul Ananda's 140-year-old house in Dhaka's Dhanmundi was also set ablaze by a mob. Over 3,000 musical instruments were burnt to ashes, house furniture looted and the house gutted. It was in September 2023 that President of France, Emmanuel Macron, paid a friendly visit to Rahul Ananda's residence in Dhanmondi. Spiritual leader Sadhguru was among those who slammed targeting of minorities. The BNP, so far in opposition, staged a massive show of strength with Dhaka rally. Former Prime Minister Khalida Zia's first image after release from house arrest also surfaced from a Dhaka hospital.
আমি আন্তরিক ধন্যবাদ জানাতে চাই আমাদের বীর সন্তানদের যারা মরণপণ সংগ্রাম করে এই অসম্ভবকে সম্ভব করেছে। শত শত শহীদদের জানাই শ্রদ্ধা। এই বিজয় আমাদের নতুন সম্ভাবনা নিয়ে এসেছে।
Khalida Zia's son Tariq Rahman, so far exiled in London, has made a comeback. A new interim government is taking shape, led by Nobel laureate Mohammad Yunus. Meanwhile, speculation swirls around Sheikh Hasina's next move. She's currently housed at the Hindon IAF air base near Delhi. Hasina is under heavy cover, with the NSG and Garud commandos bombing 2 layers of security. There is no clarity on Sheikh Hasina's next move. The former Prime Minister's asylum is still in the works. With Suryagini Roy, Shivangi, Ashutosh and Piyush Mishra, Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, I want to cut across to Junaid Khan, journalist joining us from Dhaka. Junaid, what more can you add on the report in terms of the violence that the country is witnessing? More so, word coming in, at least now a semblance of stability with the interim government swearing in as early as tomorrow 8 p.m.
What can I say? Actually, now the whole country is kind of unstable. After 5th August night, there is no attack or looting in this country. Though some Awami League leaders being attacked or their house being attacked, but there is a kind of stability in this country. The interim government is already, as you said, formation will take oath tomorrow 8 p.m. As the chief of this government will arrive around 2:10 p.m. at Shahjalan International Airport. But the question is, what will be the name of this head of this government? Is it the chief advisor or prime minister of interim government? So this is the confusion. This will, I think, this will be okay by the tomorrow night. All the students, as you know, they are working on road as a traffic. They are cleaning the masses made by the protesters, whoever did this. This is the kind of situation now is running.
All right, appreciate you joining us, Junaid. We'll come back to you for more updates. Things highly unstable, volatile in Bangladesh. Hopefully, with now word coming in of an interim government swearing in tomorrow 8 p.m., we'll have some semblance of stability. Meanwhile, the battle of the begums of Bangladesh have begun, while the longest-serving Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina was chased out in the aftermath of the simmering tensions. Her key opponent and former Prime Minister Khalida Zia has now walked free since Hasina's ouster. This prompted a show of strength by the BNP in Dhaka today. Is this a signal that Khalida Zia could be the next head of government?
It's the battle of the begums in Bangladesh. For the last 3 decades, Sheikh Hasina and Khalida Zia have ruled the country. Hasina is the longest-serving Prime Minister of the country, having ruled Bangladesh for 20 years. But now Khalida Zia gets a shot at power after being out of government for 3 terms. The former Prime Minister and Chief of the Bangladesh Nationalist Party was released from house arrest on Tuesday. A day later, the BNP held a rally, a show of strength signaling Khalida's resurgence. Khalida's eldest son, Tariq Rahman, the BNP's acting chairman, is set to return to Dhaka. While Khalida makes a comeback for her arch-rival Sheikh Hasina, it might well be the end of the road. Her son Saji Waze Joy confirmed in an exclusive interview to India Today that she will not be returning to Bangladesh.
She's in good spirits, but she's very, very disappointed. She's very disheartened that after all that she has done for the country, that this vocal minority moved against her and wanted her out. She has turned the country from a poor country, failing country, corrupt country into a success story, a rising Asian tiger.
The political animosity between Hasina and Khalida dates back to a 2004 grenade attack during a rally led by Hasina, which resulted in over 20 deaths and more than 500 injuries. The attack was blamed on Khalida's government. Her eldest son was sentenced in absentia for his alleged involvement. Further complicating matters, in 2018, Khalida and her son Tariq Rahman were convicted of embezzling foreign donations, a charge Khalida claimed was politically motivated. She was imprisoned and later placed under house arrest due to her deteriorating health. The rivalry has roots in the assassination of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, the founding father of Bangladesh and the father of Sheikh Hasina in August 1975. Hasina's party, Awami League, had its suspicions about General Ziaur Rahman's possible links to the massacre. General Ziaur Rahman, Khalida's father, became the president of Bangladesh months after Mujibur's killing. Ziaur Rahman himself was killed in 1981. The Sheikh Hasina's family has denied she will make a comeback bid. Those who have followed the Battle of Begums over the last 3 decades won't rule it out. Bureau Report, India Today.
Meanwhile, let's move on and get you the latest coming in from what's on the cards where the parliament in India comes into question. The centre's big Waqf reforms are on the cards. The Modi government is poised to overhaul the Waqf Act in the current budget session of Parliament. The bill redefines Waqf, focusing on properties dedicated to practicing Muslims for at least 5 years and ensuring women's inheritance rights. In terms of representation, the new bill mandates diverse inclusions in Waqf boards encompassing other backward classes and non-Muslims. Financially, it reduces the annual contribution of Waqf to 5%, easing the burden on managers.
This government always has very serious intentions, so we have to see why they're bringing this bill right now, what their intentions are, and we'll have to look at the details to see what their ulterior motives are.
मेरा फिर को दोहराना है कि जिनके लिए लाया जा रहा है पहले उनके प्रतिनिधियों से वार्ता हो जाए, वार्ता के बाद ही लाया जाए, और फिर जेडीयू से भी तो पूछ लो, नीतीश बाबू से, चंद्रबाबू नायडू से भी तो पूछ लो, उनकी क्या राय है.
Meanwhile, in big relief coming in for home buyers, the government has amended the long-term capital gains regime for real estate. Now, this offers substantial relief on long-term capital gains for immovable properties. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman addressed the Parliament and confirmed this relaxation, saying the government heard the people and that the amendment will provide relief from additional burden to taxpayers. The flexibility applies to all property transactions finalized prior to the budget's presentation on July the 23rd, allowing taxpayers to choose between a lower tax rate of 12.5% without indexation or a higher rate of 20% with indexation for properties acquired before July 23rd, 2024.
Current amendment that we are bringing is for land and building assets acquired by individuals and HUFs before 23rd July 2024. It stipulates that in the case of transfer of long-term capital asset, being land or building or both, by an individual or HUF, which is acquired before 23rd July 2024, the taxpayer can compute his taxes under the new scheme, which is 12.5% without indexation, and the old scheme, 20% with indexation, and pay such tax which is the lower of the two. Not only we are coming up with an option, we are also saying calculate under both and tell us whichever is the lower, you pay tax on that. So we have given an option, sir. This ensures that no one faces additional tax burden due to this change.